Can on
Right,
YouTube.
the stream's now working, so let me just get the link and then I'll pop it into.
I see it.
Oh, you've got this. Okay, if you've got the link, yeah.
I see the link.
Milo sees it. Yeah.
I see everything.
Milo sees it with his eyes, his shiny eyes.
This is Bora. This is hosting episode 183, yes.
It's nice to see Milo with his slack off in his face again, isn't it, Ian? It's like the old days.
It has been there for a fair few weeks, bless it, to be fair.
Powered by Riverside FM.
Oh, I remember the first time that was played. That was mental.
We've not played that one for a while, have we?
It's not quite so epic, however many weeks on. What is it, like
No, it's not.
160 something?
Do you remember the first time we played? We're like, oh my god.
This is the soundboard. It will be the future. And now we just play a goat sound effect on it. What on earth?
You want epic? Nobody can see this except for the three of us in the live stream.
All right, well, let's do an audio description. It's a big sound booth
Like a
with
recording
massive,
booth, yeah.
massive amount of equipment. All of it seems to be floating in the air as if it was on that the International Space Station. It's now all been put into what looks like an iPhone.
Android.
And people are waving at us. Riverside.fm/mobile.
So if anybody wants to watch us, they can watch us on that. Or actually, it's the future. Mobiles.
Mobiles, they're the future.
Oh,
It is the future.
just Spindiana, Chris, welcome in. Sue, Del, Francesco, Mod
Ciao.
Squad, Admin Squad, welcome. Ciao.
Welcome, Chows.
Chowder.
Chowder.
Chowder?
Power of Patreon.
According to me, my internet connection is powered by potato because it arrived.
Ooh, Kitty Pokemon's a lot. Welcome. McFloof, welcome in.
Kitty, nice to see you on. First time we've spoken in a while. Lovely to see you.
Hey, Barside. Robert
lovely to
Wilson,
talk for the
hello.
first time.
That's all for the
There we
first
go.
time, Kitty.
I've not done any AI this week. Hey, JB, welcome in.
That I am eternally grateful to hear.
That was a good quiz, though, actually.
It was amusing because everything was wrong.
Everything was wrong.
Everything.
Can't believe it thought we had Mystic 8 on before. I mean, what's that all about?
What about Mystic 27?
He would do it. Don't give him ideas. Don't give him ideas, Milo. Pogo Mystic UK.
Pokémon Mystic UK. On episode 183, Ian's spirit has arrived in Pikachu costume form. Mark looks set to bag a ukulele, and I have some extra voices lined up. And not this one.
Oh, put that away, Milo.
Hello and welcome back, listeners, to the Incensed podcast for the 183rd time. And the Three Musketeers are very much here for your listening pleasure. We have our resident water type, Ian Waterfall. We have our resident grass type, Masterful27, and your resident FOMO monkey, myself, Pogo Milo UK.
You really do look like Chimchar.
I did Photoshop rather eerily well onto it, to be honest. But how are you both doing?
I think it's quite funny, actually. You said that you morphed onto FOMO Monkey pretty well, or did FOMO Monkey morph onto Milo pretty well? I don't know.
It's not chicken and the egg. Which came first?
The Milo or the monkey? No, we're doing good, Milo. We're doing good, thank you, mate. Yeah, here again. We love a session.
Did you say we love a chimchar?
No one's ever said that.
Nobody's ever said that.
In the history of everything, no one has ever said that. But AI might think we said that in the future, so who knows? But
Call back to last week.
oh, good. Yeah, Skynet was the best callback I think from last week.
It's a great reference.
Cracking reference. But no, good. Thank you. How are you, Ian? You look very happy to still be here straight for 183 weeks.
138 weeks. Sorry.
130. Okay.
183 weeks straight. And I'm losing my mind, but I'll be here until the show ends or until I'm dead. One or the other.
Vote now.
Vote now on one of our many polls. Speaking of which, we actually did an Insta poll at the weekend. Didn't we?
An instant poll.
An Instagram.
Instant poll. Let's go.
Poll has been erected in various different places, apparently.
Oh my goodness me. Across the interwebs.
That's a choppy effect, isn't it? And so we asked on our Instagram account. We celebrated episode 182 last week with a lot of Blink 182, or is that how you pronounce? Who knows? References.
Let's find out.
And we asked our awesome people who follow us, certainly on Instagram, to let us know, how do you say Blink 182, 182, 182, whatever? There were 3 options. They were all 3 of them there. And 3% of people think it's Blink 182.
That was just Milo voting.
Spam it.
Yeah, Milo didn't know what a Blink 182 was when we referenced it at first.
That's what my optician tells me to do.
Keep blinking, Milo, you little blinky. That's a Pac-Man
You
ghost
little
name.
what?
You little blinky.
In second place with 29%, we had Blink 182. And the overwhelming
So we've
winner...
definitely got more Americans listening to the show.
Yeah, because the 68% are actually spot on, bob on. Blink 182 is the correct way, isn't it, Ian? They shared that.
Apparently it is, and Blink 182 call themselves Blink 182, as do the Americans, but in places like the UK and Australia, we just say 182.
Or 182 if you're Milo.
Yes, I like to be different.
Oh, you are. You are.
The FOMO monkey has to try somehow.
What's Dex entry 182, Milo, in the Pokédex? Top of your head? Oh, here we go. Oh, Ian, he didn't know.
Now we're actually seeing him check his decks, so he doesn't sound factual when he edits it, because I'll put this back in if he cuts it out.
Yeah.
Are you sure about that?
Oh,
No,
yeah.
of course I have to look it up. I mean, we're not going to be playing Play Your Decks Right in the next 3 weeks. We know that. It's Blossom.
Oh, you're a little
okay.
blossom.
Just for your information. Yeah, it's good to be back on for
Nice.
Blink 182 plus 1. And we've got some awesome stuff coming up in this week's show.
But boys, before we get into the show, good news!
Hold on.
What?
What?
Don't forget this week's Spotlight Hour, Lilleep with 2 times Catch Candy.
Cascada jamming that one in really prematurely. Fantastic.
It wouldn't be the first time.
Premature jumping in. Love it.
Let's not go down that road. Let's go down the path that we tread most commonly, which is to say...
Pop your incenses, champions. Let's go.
Oh, we've gone old school with that one.
Oh, OG.
OG. Well, I mean, this is an OG thing that we do with the show. The reason we ask you or encourage you to pop an incense, or maybe a daily incense with a bit of aura time, or even one of the new adventure effects with the fused forms of Necrozma, because they're kind of an incense, aren't they?
Yeah.
You do that while listening to our show, and if you bag something, particularly a shiny, but if there's something that matters to you that you enjoy or take pleasure and pride in catching, you can definitely let us know. We'd love to hear from you. You can tag us on X, Instagram, or Threads using @IncensedPodcast. Our campfire community is a prime place to pop the catch of the day, or our email.
I wouldn't know where he was going there.
It was really spitballing. We don't write this at all. This is freestyle. You can use our email, contact@incensedpodcast.com, direct message service through the podcast platforms that you listen to us on, our Patreon exclusive Discord, and finally, our WhatsApp number.
Yes, and the WhatsApp number is +44 759 269 5696. Shinies of the week we will take through WhatsApp.
It
But if
gives
you'd
us...
like to leave us a voice message,
Yeah.
that's where the WhatsApp really comes into its own. Save this number into your phone and record and send us a voice message. We love to hear different voice on this show.
Particularly if you want to do a verbal Shinies of the week, that'd be fantastic.
Oh, you could even do that. We'd play that, definitely.
Oh, we'd play anything within reason.
That is actually, well, not anything. We have not played 1 or 2 things, but we play 99% of things.
Yes, definitely. But it doesn't matter what method you use unless you drop our famous hashtag, Shinies of the Week.
Could you clarify the spelling?
I sure hope so. It will be SHINIESOFTHEWEEK. And we're looking forward to hearing what you guys get. But now, surprise, surprise, we're reversing the show somewhat. It's time to see what you all got.
Shinies of the week.
So we've got one here on X, and I like the name, but you haven't really got the idea of it correctly. But Gilbo Baggins, we will read it out anyway.
Love the name.
Nice name.
Love how he starts with it. Is no shinies this week. Brilliant start. Okay.
Hashtag Shinies of the week.
Hashtag Shinies of the week. But I did add 3 new wild 4-stars to the collection.
Okay.
On hashtag Hundos of the Week.
Was that a new section we're starting?
It might be. And he's got a Hundo Gigalith, a Hundo Meowth, and a Hundo Sharpedo. Very nice.
That's fabulous.
Very nice, Gilbo
We're
Baggins.
obtained genuinely.
Are you okay there?
The water went down the wrong pipe.
He's a water Pokemon.
Hydro Cannon backfired.
It's not an energy drink.
What's your shiny of the week?
It's definitely not an energy drink.
Not a natural energy drink anyway. Oh dear, mate, you're on fire.
So jumping on to the Incensed campfire. Well, there's a few on here, so I'll just take one which jumps straight out at me, and I can't not bring this one in because if I don't say it, Whitfield definitely will. This one's from Darren White. I won the game, smiley
Damn you.
face. Hashtag Shinies of the weekend. Darren, you definitely did. Darren got, and I'm getting a sound effect ready, the Shundo Rayquaza. G freaking G's.
Yeah, well done, mate. That's good. Yeah, that's all right.
Yeah, all right.
Oh,
Congrats.
all right.
That's amazing. With the boosted, and I think the best geotag, burnt wood.
Burnwood. Okay, that's not too bad.
Burnt wood. I love that
Burnt wood.
geotag.
Staffordshire one,
No,
yeah.
I mean, Shundo's amazing. And we should really get Shundo's of the week as a hashtag going because also from our campfire community, good old Grumpy Cricket 83 has managed to get from, I don't know if it's a random special trade or a lucky friend trade, but they got a Shundo Golett,
That is nice.
which is so beautiful.
That is
Absolutely
tight.
amazing. Toit.
Well, I've got another one on X, and so the reason I mentioned this was actually
Noise.
I do struggle when I hear other podcasts references Pokemon by its proper name. I was listening to them talk about Togedemaru, and I was going, "What
Todger.
Pokemon
No, that's wrong.
are they on about?" They're just going, "Oh, I got 5 Togedemarus in research." I'm like, "Sorry, no, it is for Todger." And as Chicken Chaser
Yes.
89 has rightly said, Todger acquired. Hashtag shiny Pokemon.
Is it spelled with
hashtag
a D, though? It has to have the D in there. It
He's
can't be a
put the D in
toga.
it.
Yeah, he
He's
has.
put the D in it.
Oh, well done,
Chaser.
Chicken Chaser.
5-star.
Yeah.
That's our boy from Berkshire. He gets it. in
Hang on.
the
He
USA.
needs a little.
Good spelling. Well done, Todgers.
Well
Todgers
done.
all round.
Todger acquired. Thank you, Chicken Chaser, for using the correct spelling.
I don't think we can really eclipse Todger of the week. Get that hashtag trending, people. We very much approve.
Clarify the
it,
spelling,
but,
please, Molly.
Clarify spelling.
I'll get back to you on that.
Hashtag TODGERSOFTHEWEEK. Simple.
Let me do
Fabulous. Thank you, Vasa.
Although we really don't want that as a hashtag trending.
It could be worse. But I know you listeners are probably expecting a question to come next, but actually, we're going to dive into the event where that Shundo Rayquaza from Darren White came from. Let's talk about the Mega Rayquaza Makeup Raid Day Hour, however on earth you want to call it,
Great day
event.
hour. Okay.
Triple Raid Hour Day.
I don't think there's a name for it. It was kind of 3 raid hours in a day.
Oh, hey, that's like a song. 3 raid hours in a day. I like that. The Crowded House. I think it was 4 seasons in a day.
That's 4 seasons. Close enough.
3 raid hours in a day. I like that, Ian. That's good.
We just need a duo now. It's like we're counting down like the 12 days of Christmas.
Start that soon, actually. That's not far
Oh,
off.
God, yeah, with sectionals. That's all I'm going to say.
Let's not talk. Predicting the
Starting
future
September.
on that one. But, boys, I think this one's very much worthy of a little chat because it was obviously a makeup event for the errors and issues with the elite raids that plagues, let's be honest, mostly APAC.
Yeah.
But they did a whole general makeup event, which I remember us laughing about and saying, how on earth are they going to do a makeup event? They'll probably give us a research with some Rayquaza XL candy in it or something. But actually, we got 3 raid hours, which meant 6 batches of 25-minute timers across all gyms over Saturday, which means you guys wouldn't have been locked out if you didn't have the elite raid gym rubbish. So, Ian, chat to us about how you did this second time round with Mega Rayquaza.
Well, it worked out quite well because, of course, they were at 11, 1, and 6 p.m. Now, for us in the UK, and a lot of times it kind of works the same, that we had the European ones now before us, so you had the chance for the remotes coming in and then doing the in-person raids, and it kind of worked quite well. Although the big 6-hour gap in the afternoon or big 5-hour gap in the afternoon wasn't ideal. I like the way they did it. It was definitely better than the Elite Raid Day. Universally, it was praised, not only as a makeup, but as an event. People seemed to enjoy it. I participated in a few. I only did 2 of the time slots. I did the 1 p.m. and the 6 p.m. raids. And you know what? I enjoyed myself. I got a few remote invites. Did maybe over the 2 time frames I did about 10 raids because there were 25-minute raids and cycling. So you couldn't really get to that many in the time before they respawn, but it was fun. I enjoyed it. Everybody likes Rayquaza. I mean, this was Mega Rayquaza, but everybody likes Rayquaza. Mon. The shiny rates didn't seem massive from the people I was raiding with, unless that was just a sort of a regional thing where I was. Out of the, I think, 10, 11 raids I did, plus the remotes, I only got 1 shiny. So out of probably just under 2 dozen raids, 1 shiny, which wasn't great, but probably about on the odds. I'm going to say it, a definite win for Niantic. If they hadn't screwed up the original, this day would never have happened, and it was way better than the first day.
You know, I love a raid day, and I was probably one of the handful of people that didn't really pay too much attention to what the day entailed. And I keep using the excuse of real life stopping me from reading up on stuff properly, but I think that's just down to my lack of attention to the details. So I didn't read the finer details on it, and actually the only godsend was I actually was out just before 11 to start playing. So I did take full advantage of it. A bit like most people, played for about 3 hours solid around the European hours that sort of allowed us to have a little few before cheeky remotes. And then in between the 2 hours, we had their hour again. And it was quite nice, actually, how it all pans out. But yeah, played the first couple of hours. Hey, at the end of the day, we were very lucky we got the makeup day. No guarantee that we're going to do this. I think hopefully this will highlight why Elite Raids are awful, and this should be the format moving forward. Just allow people to dial into them, play them 3 hours, little sections like that. Everyone's happy. It still limits them, and you can't do loads of them. But I did 15 Rayquaza raids on my raid day. I didn't get a shiny, unfortunately, but I did have other goals. I needed to max out my Hundo Ray that I got in London.
Nice.
With the catch card, which was even nicer.
Even nice.
So I've now got my level 50 Ray maxed out, Mega
nice.
Evolved, and it's a thing of beauty. And so loved it. Please keep doing this in place of Elite Raid Days, whatever they call them.
I think the staggered timeframes is another way of managing how many raids people can and will do.
Yes.
Because I think Sue said this, I'm not sure if said it in one of our private chats or somewhere else, but it's difficult to get people to go out, go home, go out again, go home, go out, go home. So it very much does restrict the amount of raids that somebody could do, unless you're Whitfield and they've got about 10 gyms within remoting distance.
Well, again, that sort of comes back to where you happen to live. You know, if you have quite a lot of gyms surrounding you, you won't have too much problem of just walking out and going to hit the raids at the specific hours. Whereas maybe somebody a bit more rural might have a bit more of a difficult time with it. But I will give this day a lot of credit because it brought in a different style of format for a raid day, as it were. And Mark made this point, and it wasn't anything to do with goats. It was that alternating sort of hours almost meant that when you'd finished your local raids, then if you wanted to, you could get the remotes from, in our case, it would have been Europe.
I said that.
Was it you? Well, both of you said it at that point.
That was in our private little group, Milo, that we had that conversation.
Okay. So there you go. Well, I'm repeating it for a third time in that case. But I thought that was really nice, and it almost made the day feel a bit more relaxed because 20 remote raid capacity is really nice to give that extension, as it were. I mean, they're not any more cheap. They're not cheaper. They're still expensive than remote raid, which not everybody does, but it gives you the option, which I thought was better than elite raids, which literally locks you into one particular location. And as we've discussed many a times, Marky doesn't have any elite raid gyms dotted around him at all, and many people are in that same boat. This at least opened up the floor to say, hey, if you want to go, you can go and hit your local gyms, or you can remote and plan it. The 3 time slots I thought they were okay, but they were a bit odd considering, I'm trying to think, like back in the day, we used to have community days that started at 11 and then 1 o'clock is like lunch, and then 6 p.m. is traditional raid hour time. I don't know. They probably must have looked at this data and gone, this is when people are mostly active.
Like data.
They love a bit of data. Whether it's read correctly is an entirely different matter. Versus a 3-hour raid day, I found this a bit more easy to handle rather than, for example, the Mega Lucaria raid day. I know that was 6 hours, but if you take 3-hour window, bish bash bosh, you gun it for 3 hours. This, you could do the Rayquaza raids, maybe go and get a coffee with your friends or something like that, or go around and play the event that was on at the time, and then come back and do some more raids. I thought it was really interesting, and I hope this does mean the death of elite raids. To be honest. Please. The format's broken, it doesn't work, and there seem to be resounding thumbs up all over communities that I saw, social media, our social media as well, saying, yes, this makeup day was seriously good. Since you've heard from all of us, let's hear from you guys. What do you think, Onyx? And actually, well, the tree's thankfully been righted. Do you want to play the
poll number 2?
Poll is out for the second time in a night, but fortunately back on the trusty platform of X, so good to be back there. And yes, Pokemon Go friends, we'd love to hear your stories, successes and thoughts on the Mega Rayquaza Raid Day makeup event. But we asked before we go into the comments is which format would be your favourite for events moving forward like this. We had Elite Raid Day, Triple Raid Hour Day and Traditional 3-hour Raid Day. 90 people voted on this poll.
Nice.
Good number. And actually, 2/3 of the vote shows it was actually quite an overwhelming result, but as to be expected. Milo answered for jokes on Elite Raid Day. 3% of the vote. And like I said, if they read the data incorrectly, they'll probably think that that's the most popular one because it's top of the options.
Well, no, it asks which one you prefer, so they're going to go for the one with the lowest number of votes.
Exactly, Ian. They love that.
One vote is enough.
Second place with 30%, Triple Raid Hour Day. I felt like I was going to say the triple lock then. I felt like it was a government policy then. Oh dear. And then 67% with traditional 3-hour raid day. So actually, do you know what? It's an awkward one, I think, because if people can't commit to 3 hours solid in a row, the triple raid hour day allows that and facilitates everything. So I think it's probably that's what's deciding people's thoughts is get it all done in a little window.
Personally speaking, I would rather just do 3 hours, smash it out, than be done.
Yes.
The triple raid hour being spread throughout the day does allow more inclusivity for people that may be working, may not be able to do it at certain times. So it is a little better in that respect. And
it also means that anybody who has fewer gyms gets more raids per cycle, really, because raid days are 1 hour cycles on the gym, whereas these are 25-minute timers. So it means that those people have less accessibility to more points of interest, let's call them, can get more raids in, which is, I think, great.
Yeah, and going into the chat, Del Hazard just said 3 hours in a row doesn't mean you have to do the full 3 hours, and that is true. It really doesn't, but...
That's usually your line in.
It normally is, but I do love a raid day, so if there's 3 hours there, I will do it. If there's 6 hours there, I go on record and say I won't do 6 hours in a raid all day.
Agree.
I've got better things to do.
Agree, like edit a vlog.
Podcast, a vlog.
But boys, let's pick a comment from this post.
What Mike Newcomb said, I enjoyed it. The format worked.
Concise.
I think Paul Pavnoko's hit the nail on the head then, depending on what your viewpoint is, 3%. Elite raids are pointless. I'd be happy to see... Blink. Hear that quite a few times over the next couple of weeks. I'd be happy to see traditional raid days and the 3 hourly raid day alternate to give people who work on weekends the flexibility to participate at least one of the hours like that. I really enjoyed a picnic lunch with other trainers in the park 12 till 1. I agree. Spot on times. I like this first two. Really nice time windows they were.
Yeah, definitely. And finally, from Kitty Pokemons a lot. Loved this format. 3 different times gave more opportunities for folks with planned/work to get a few raids in. The whales could grind, but also it kept them limited, which is clearly Niantic's mission with this sort of raid boss. So exactly the point that you guys have made. Yeah. 100%.
But calling Milo a whale, Kitty, that's not really nice.
I've been called worse things.
He just grinds,
FOMO
bless him.
monkey.
On other episodes, go back and listen to the Incensed podcast to find out.
Jabba the Hutt was the best one.
He's a FOMO grinder, is our Milo.
FOMO Jabba.
FOMO Jabba UK.
FOMO Jabba.
Oh, Milo, don't be so cruel about yourself. We all love you. Don't listen to them.
Yeah, you're not Jabba, you're Jar Jar.
Yeah,
Judge, okay.
You are Binks, you are, Milo. You are Binks.
FOMO Bings.
Blinky Binks.
FOMO Binks UK.
Bings. Right, before the nicknames go catastrophically
He does look
AWOL,
like one, doesn't he, Ian, when you say it? He does look like a Blinky Binks, doesn't he, old Milo?
let's get back on track. I've got a question for you guys.
And now, children, it's time for Getting to Know You with the Incensed podcast.
And for this week, you have to pick the best nickname for me. No, we have
FOMO monkey,
thrown,
simple.
we'll put it to the vote, but we have thrown a lot of questions out there. I don't think we've done this one from memory, but today I would like to know what profession/job position would be your living hell? And let's throw it over to Cascada, who probably wouldn't want to be a bottle of water drink tester, given a couple of minutes ago.
Well, yeah, choking on it's not a good start. That stuff can kill you. I actually had an answer lined up. Then actually, when you were reading the question out, something else hit me. I was originally going to say, and I'm not going to go into detail, but I worked retail for a long time. Retail is like my living hell. But when you read the question out, it came to me that I'd hate to be one of these people that has to go round in a lorry and clean out like effluent tanks and all of the sewage.
Yes, the people who deal with septic tanks.
Septic tanks and all that sort of thing. So just, yeah, that in itself, no, thank you.
So you wouldn't want to be driving
I don't mind driving a lorry. I just don't want to be dealing with like waste, sewage, bodily. Oh, no.
Ian doesn't want to be the person on the campsite at a festival with his hose going into all the portaloos going,
Oh.
I wonder where he was going then.
What is your dream job?
a bit like Ian, actually. I had an answer pretty much straight away when I read this. I've got very differing views to Ian on retail. I worked retail for about 3 or 4 years in my adult life. Probably the best years of my working life. Really
I worked
enjoyed
about
it.
15 years retail.
Okay.
That's why I'm done with it.
Okay, top trumps. But I thoroughly enjoyed my time. But my worst job would be a job that I actually enjoy doing, if that makes sense. What I mean is, it's a job that what I'm being paid for is something that I enjoy, because then that fine line between enjoyment and work overlaps quite a bit. And actually, I'm going to say it, Milo, I'd hate to be a full-time content creator. Oh my God. That would be...
Where are the shots fired?
But Ian, you get it. Ian, you get it, don't you? Because where does the enjoyment you get from it? It's then a job. And then at what point then and you see it, and I'm talking about any type of... It doesn't have to be YouTube. It could be any type of creation of content. It suddenly then becomes something you have to do as a job.
Oh, yeah, you can't rest on your laurels. You can't just think,
No.
I'm going to have a week off.
No.
I get what you mean, because there is that blend or fine line where, you know, not everybody can keep that differentiation kind of there.
But there are caveats to it. I think editing someone else's content would be great fun, because at the end of the day, if you enjoy editing and that's a job, fantastic, because in essence, you're dealing with what they're having to do and you're producing it. And that's something very different. But to actually having that mindset and that motivation to just keep doing that, and it could be anything you really enjoy as a hobby, I should say, or a game, or like, you know, that for me is my idea of hell.
Well, there we go. So are you picking full-time content creator?
I think with the characters that I've got available to me on X, I think it's
FT content
yeah,
creator.
I think it's going to have to be that.
Quite the irony.
You could just put Milo.
But Milo, over to you.
What would be mine? Well, one thing, I thought of this question. I was like, yeah, I don't think we've talked about that potentially. And immediately it came to me, would be a trawler fisherman, the people who go out on ships in the middle of the ocean.
Just got a vendetta against fish.
Just doesn't like fish, does he, Ian? That's
No,
not-
but I also don't
doesn't.
like. I don't like boats because I get horrific seasickness.
I saw you on the ferry in New York City, Milano. You were fine.
Yeah, that was okay. Trust me, Francesca will attest to this.
I've been on like the cross-channel ferry.
If it's a
with you.
calm crossing, we're fine. But if it's any kind of motion, my motion
I was in a
sickness
hot tub with
is
you, Milo.
bad.
You were very comfortable then.
I don't remember this. Is there a number I
That's
can
the
call?
chloroform he gave you first.
Me and Ian were both there. You were very happy, Milo. You didn't say a lot.
Is that the 100% guaranteed chat-up line?
Milo.
Does this smell like chloroform?
He just smiled, didn't he, Ian? He just smiled, bless him.
Yeah.
He looked happy.
That wasn't real. It's painful grin, but yeah, I don't gel with fish, let's say, and I don't gel with many boats. So yeah, the idea of disappearing off into the ocean,
So
on
fishing
rough
trawler then?
seas, yeah, fishing trawler, something like that.
Well, fishing trawler isn't a job; it's fisherman.
On sea, though, Ian. Not on the side of the River Avon.
Let's go fishing on the Thames down the
Sea
queue.
fisherman.
Commercial fisherman,
I think it's trawlerman or something, isn't it? Like that.
Trawlerman.
But there we go. As Francesco says in the chat, backing me up, Milo was on another planet when we were coming back from Dunkirk, and that was a rough ferry crossing in November.
Oh, bless him. So we've got...
When we came back from Amsterdam, Milo was on another boat because we totally missed the ferry.
Yes.
What planet was he on, Francesco? I'm curious. I would love to know what other planet Milo was on.
I think he was on Uranus.
Well, let's see what our listeners think would be the
There's a planet before anybody says anything.
Milo, you've been very cheeky
the
tonight.
nightmare profession, the person who named Uranus.
Milo's been very
Equality.
cheeky tonight, isn't he, Ian? Have you noticed
He
that?
is, yeah.
Well, I mean, not necessarily speaking of cheeky, but speaking of our followers, Ian, do you have a cheeky little WhatsApp for us?
Why, yes, I do, Whitfield. We have had a WhatsApp message. Charlie's been on.
Hey guys, it's Charlie here. Just thought I'd send a voice note. First time doing this with you. It's about the 5th time I've actually done this voice note though, because I keep messing it up halfway through. So it's adventure week. I'm just out for a walk, hatching some eggs. First time I've had a chance to do this event. I managed to hatch a shiny Gyarados 2-star though. Pretty good. I think good for a lucky trade. Someone will want it. If you guys want to pick something for me to max out, that'd be pretty cool. I want to spend some Stardust, but I'm not quite sure what on, if I'm honest. Yeah, cool. So you can either pick one each or group one. Feel free, I don't mind. So some of the Pokemon have names. If it's got a name, it means someone wants it in a trade. It's not for me, it's for someone else. Also, if it says Milo, it's not because Milo wants it, it's because I got it from a live stream of his.
Nice.
And that's pretty much where the message ends. But he did also send us a video of his Mons that we can pick one to name for him.
Well, thanks for sending us in the message. I think I understood most of it.
I think I'm partial to a shiny Rayquaza. I think there's a lucky Rayquaza in there. So
Ian's picking a shiny, lucky Rayquaza.
yes.
Mark, did something catch your eagle eye?
Yeah, I'm gonna do a Steve on you, unfortunately, Charlie. I'm gonna go for a shiny Ultra Beast. Can I have your shiny Buzzwole, please? That'd be delightful. Thank you.
That's going to be a tough one to max.
Yeah, it will be.
Nice. I'm going to try and pick a hundo, and I think I'm going to honour Comday favourite of ours. I'm going to say max your hundo Stuffle, but the Stuffle, not the Beware.
That's fair, yeah.
There we go.
And that's it, boys, for this week's WhatsApp messages.
Well, there we go. Thank you very much for sending that in and letting us burn your resources. Don't forget, the number at the top of the show, you can send us a voice message, which can be a voice WhatsApp message or Shiny of the Week.
Massage.
A massage.
Massage.
What are you offering? I don't remember this
Voice
perk, Vasa. Voice massage. How soothing can this podcast be? But I will pretty much play anything within reason, so we really appreciate your voice messages. But now, boys, the V and the 2 Ps are going to talk about the World Championships.
It's the news.
So to coincide with Worlds in Hawaii, on Friday, August the 16th at 10 a.m. local time through to Tuesday, August 20th, 2024 at 8 p.m. local time, we're going to have the World Championship celebration in Pokemon GO. And we've got the debut of, I think this is probably going to be my favourite Pikachu, to be honest. It is the officially called the World Championship 2024 Pikachu, but we're calling it Scubachu.
Scubachu. It's such a good costume.
Great.
Oh my goodness me.
Yeah, technically it's not scuba, it's snorkeling, but because it doesn't have a backpack.
Snorkelchew.
Snorkelchew, Ian, yeah.
But Snorkelchew. But we'll call it Scubachu. It sounds cooler.
Scooby-Doo.
Scubachu, where are you? No, that's really cool. We always like the hunt for that world's costume Pikachu. Now, the event bonuses are pretty solid for this one, actually. They are 2, but they're 2 good ones. So for the duration of the event, up to 5 special trades can be made each day, which is insane. And also, you can use a charged TM to help Shadow Pokemon forget the charged attack frustration.
Ooh, that's twice in a month.
Yeah, even though we've had the Team Rocket takeover stuff, we're getting that again. So the Todger will be satisfied.
There's obviously a lot of frustration to be relieved.
Evidently. With the Pokemon GO community.
Oh, Milo. I love it how you look at that. Me and Ian are like going 5 special trades a day, and we're going, how would we even get one of those done? And Milo's going,
literally.
yeah, 5 special trades a day. Fantastic. Smash through those done before breakfast. Happy days. Brilliant. Well,
bueno.
It's all right when your partner plays Pokemon GO, isn't it?
Absolutely. And you're a full-time content creator. But anyhow,
that doesn't really play into it.
Full-time what?
That doesn't. But anyway, there are wild encounters with this brand new event, and I got the great one to start this little sequence of Pokemon off. Looks like an Adventure Week lineup, actually. We're starting with Mankey.
This one isn't fantastic, but it is Got Baguettes Lads related. Licky Tongue.
Well, Whitfield, I hate to break it to you, this is an event coinciding with Worlds, so they're all going to have some play in PvP
Don't
somewhere.
be ridiculous.
That's a foul.
Next up is that little blue boy, Marill.
Or maybe green one in sometime in the future.
It could be green if you're lucky.
In a few weeks' time.
We've also got something that I think has got a lot of play generally in life, and it looks so funny with its little bones out of its face. Paldean Wooper.
Cry your eyes out of this. Swablu.
You can cry a little bit more with Fletchling. That's all I seem to hatch.
This is one that just doesn't ever want to come and shine in the game. It's Carbink.
And Grubbin is there as well.
Yeah, but the one that a lot of people will still be chasing, because I certainly didn't get it recently, is Marini as a shiny. Marini.
Yeah, and some trainers might even encounter the following.
The best mon of the lost.
Come on, what is it?
Another staple part of the Adventure Week that we've currently got, Skarmory.
That bronze. It haunts people, doesn't it? Skarmory does.
It does, but if you're lucky, most of those, well, all of them, exception of Carbink, could be shiny. So, yeah, knock yourselves out the park with those, eh? But with events, we also have field research task rewards. And yes, this event is no different. Let's hope that these are frequent and plenty from Pokestops. You will be able to get the Scubachu. Is that the one, Ian? Is it Scubachu?
Yeah, Scubachu. Yeah, we'll go with that.
Yes.
The Swabluchu, the Swablu, the Mienfoo, and the Marini. And this is actually something, it's a brand new shiny released as part of this event, because Mienfoo can also be shiny, as well as the Scubachu, Scubachu. Yeah, Mienfoo is getting its debut as shiny, which makes sense because this was originally locked behind GBL. It does make perfect sense why that Pokemon is part of this event.
And it's funny, when you said that, Mark, all I could hear when you was actually talking about the field research task was a quote from Spider-Man, but reworded up, with great events come great field research task rewards. But, okay, the Scubachu maybe in the
Mienfoo.
3/4
of the time.
3/4, yeah.
Yes.
But then there's always that 25% of Swablu, which you're predominantly going to get, let's face it.
Absolutely.
It's Swablu, win a GBL battle.
Yeah.
But it is an event, and don't forget that Niantic do want your cash. They take cold hard currency, and for $5 US, or the equivalent in your local currency, you'll be able to get some event-themed timed research. Yes, what do we say, boys? Timed. So if you do not complete it by the end of Tuesday, August the 20th at 8 p.m., you will lose it along with any rewards that you might gain from it. The timed research rewards will include the following. And actually, I don't know if it's worth the $5, but you can be the judge of that. You'll get 1 premium battle pass, 1 whole pass. Yeah, we're not doing fractions here. Yeah, 1.
Nice.
25,000 Stardust. Okay, still not worth $5. And encounters with event-themed Pokemon such as Azumarill, Vigoroth, Cresselia, and more. I'm guessing the Scubachu will be in there as well.
I hope so. It's going to give you a Swablu.
I don't think that's worth the $5, I'll be honest.
No.
Yeah, it's slightly underwhelming, isn't it? Let's crank it back up to another notch. We've got 1-star raids
Back
as
up to
part
11.
of this event. Back this up to maybe 1.1.
1.1 star raids.
Oh dear goodness. We do have 1-star raids, and both of them will give you opportunities for the new shinies. And we know our friends in our in-game lists will be raiding these. We know how it works. But 1-star raids, you can get the Pikachu, the World Championships 24 Pikachu, and you can get Mindfu. Both of them obviously shiny.
Nice.
Actually, both worth rating, I would say. Actually, only 1 stars.
Yeah.
That's a quality 1-star raid pool. Fantastic.
And we know Mark loves a 1-star.
At this rate, I'm going to love a 1-star.
And I think a few of our friends also like 1-stars, as they raid heavily for them when Pikachus come out. But yeah,
Yes,
definitely.
Mr. Tripod, yes.
Absolutely. But I think we can all collectively say we don't like the 3-star raids because in the 3-star raids is, first of all, Licky Tongue, which you can find in the wild. I'm doing a marker here.
You
can find it in the
literally,
wild. Galarian Stunfisk, which, yes, to be fair, it's not in the wild, but
it has been quite a lot recently.
it was recently in an event in the wild.
Mm-hmm.
And it's also had a research day back in the day and lots of things in the past. So let's gloss over that. And finally, if for whatever reason you completely missed Adventure Week 2024 and really don't have enough candy to evolve a Bunnelby, you could bang your head against a wall while you do a Diggersby raid.
oh,
And that can't be shiny, just to boot.
yeah, that's like the final insult to that, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
We've also got Shadow 1-star raids available, and the following Pokemon will appear in Shadow raids. We've got Shadow Magnemite, Shadow Dratini, Shadow Wooper, and Shadow Gligar. And those 3, with the exception of Wooper, can all be shiny potentially. So that's pretty cool.
Ooh.
Yeah, the 3 stars, again, a little bit questionable in my opinion. Shadow Wobbuffet, Shadow Curlier. Now, neither of those can be shiny, but you could potentially get a shiny Sableye if you were to raid that. Not the best roster of 3 stars. No, thank you.
But don't worry, those shadow Pokemon, you can TM frustration off them during the event. As sort of is customary with a World Championships themed event, we're going to have some featured attacks during this one. So when you catch a Licky Tongue, it will know the attack Body Slam. And Mindfu will also know High Jump Kick. I'm not sure if that's a new move for Mindfu, but it might be.
Well, lucky me. We also have Pokemon that if you evolve them, will also learn new featured attacks. If you evolve Wooper during the event to get Quagsire, you will get the charged attack Aqua Tail. Altaria, that's if you evolve your Swablu to it, will get the charged attack Moonblast. If you evolve a Grubbin during the event to a Charger Bug or a Jaja Binks, that will know the charged attack Volt Switch. And if you evolve Fletchinder during the event to get a Talonflame, it will know the fast attack Incinerate.
So getting to the end of this event, there's going to be some new avatar items, which I think we all agree we love an avatar item. And the ukulele that Mark will be getting is proudly on display on Pokemon GO Live. And it's pretty cool, actually. So the avatar items that will be available is the ukulele pose.
That's good.
Yeah, that's pretty good. The World's Bucket Hat, which again, not really sold on, but the World's Aloha shirt. I love a Hawaii shirt. That does actually look. I could imagine my avatar rocking that, to be honest.
It's got the Scubachu on
It does. Yes,
the pocket,
it does.
which is fabulous.
Yeah, and the ukulele, actually, there's something about it. I might invest in that pose, actually.
It's a wait for the share.
It's like a
price to
mini
go up on
guitar, isn't it? So we've got the air guitar at the moment. That's like a mini guitar. Very Hawaiian. Love it.
We're turning our avatars into a band.
Yeah, we are. But speaking of bands, you'll be able to put your best mons into Pokemon showcases during this event, where there will be event themes as per usual.
And there is also a bunch of Go Battle Week stuff in this article, but we're not going to talk about that because we don't care. So if you're into that, open the GBL tab and see what is what. But boys, straight off the bat, give me your preliminary rating out of 10 for that event. What do you think? And why do you think it, Marky?
It's not an event that I'm really going to probably play a lot of because I'm not PvP minded. The spawns are, if I'm looking at it from non-PvP, which is where I'm looking at it from, it's not a strong event. It looks very lackluster for somebody who doesn't play it. There's nothing in there that makes me go, yeah, I want to harvest some candies. It's got a new shiny, which is Happy Days, and hopefully that'll be easy to find the research tasks. The shiny Pikachu, which for some reason everybody gets excited about. I don't dislike Pikachu, but just another costume, just another Pokemon. But everybody has their own.
It's Pikachu wearing scuba gear.
I know.
Well, actually, no, snorkeling gear, I should say.
Ian has clearly looked at the poster.
Yeah, he has. It doesn't excite me, this event. They don't normally excite me. I don't heavily raid, as my recent stats have proven in the game. I certainly will not be burning remote raid passes on Pikachus, for goodness gracious sakes. I think there's enough to try and play it a bit free to play if you want to. Because I do agree with Ian. They want your cash and they'll find every way of getting it. And I think this event leans very heavily into people that play down that route.
FOMO, that's what it leans into.
It's the FOMO. So I give it probably a 5 out of 10, if I'm being honest. Maybe a 6, but a 5 out of 10 for me. We're not at the World, so we're not going to get absorbed in that like we did at London. That obviously added to it the last time we played an event around the Worlds. Yeah, I'm surprised there weren't any unknowns thrown in the mix, actually, just to spice it up a little bit, but 5 out of 10.
I'm actually looking at the World page, and there is actually a Pikachu t-shirt which will be available for your avatar item, and it does look pretty cool, actually. The event, to me, it looks okay. It's not going to be anything world-changing, but I think there's enough in there to keep even a non-PvP-minded person happy. Certainly for the likes of Whitfield, I saw him get extremely moist about the 5 special trades earlier.
Moist meter maximum.
So I do like that, even though, as Mark said, and Mark is quite right, he and I do not tend to do many trades, but that's more of a geographical thing than a fact that...
Yeah, exactly.
It just doesn't float our boat that much. The wild encounters don't look particularly great, but they are all very much PvP-minded. The research looks pretty dull. However, for me, purely based on the fact that Shiny Mindfu is pretty cool, and the Scubachu, I'm going to give this like a 7. I think it's sort of above average, but it's nothing amazing.
I think that's fair. I will go along the same route as Ian with a 7 out of 10 because I like costume Pokemon, and trying to chase the Pikachu every year is quite interesting and fun to do. And this year's costume is just astonishingly cool. Really, really good. And also, I think last year we saw the release of Shiny Scraggy with the event. So this year, Mindfu dropping finally. There was an event where it arrived back earlier this year for the first time in like 2 years. So great to see that coming out as Shiny. It's a good Shiny as well. I just am praying that the research tasks are not win a million raids or whatever they are, because Pikachu's usually win a raid. Mindfu, I'm hoping it's something a little bit more manageable.
Battling 3 GBLs.
Please win 3 GBL batches.
Before you give your score out, Mark, I know you've said it's going to be a 7.
I've already done it.
I do want to just jump in because we have an Italian spamming the chat. And if he wasn't actually modding it, we could actually block him. But he's repeatedly asking for Pikachu raid invites when the event goes live.
Send Pikachu invites. Send them.
Brilliant.
But I think
5 remote raids a day.
Yeah, exactly.
I think
5
to be fair, I
remotes.
think, well, certainly Milo will, I will, Mark's not too worried. I think we'll all take Pikachu invites on this one. It's gonna be a
why
chase.
not?
Yeah.
Absolutely. I'll enjoy the chase for that and the Mindfu. And yeah, the spawns are a bit lackluster, and most of them have had previous community days. But Marini's quite a cool shiny to chase. That's not too old.
No, I mean, that's relatively new, isn't it? It's not been out more than a couple of months?
Yeah, absolutely. The bonuses are really good because people will hopefully maybe meet up in their communities to do Community Day Classic. So that will kind of work out over that weekend. And adding the Shadow element to it is great. The featured attacks are okay. I'm swung by Scubachu, Mindfu, and the ukulele pose, frankly.
Yeah, we've got a new hashtag in the chat. Hashtag send invites for Pikachu.
It's not hashtag send I am Prius invites.
But anyone that is at Worlds, have a great time. It's going to be epic in Hawaii. Don't forget the Incensed podcast when you send the raid invites out.
Absolutely. But boys, do you know what else is epic?
What?
If you didn't know, Lilip Spotlight Hour is on the 13th of August and is 2 times catch candy.
Deja vu?
Just wait and find out. But there is something happening in a weekend's time before Worlds with a shadowy vibe. And I think that Three Musketeers must return.
I think you're right. We're talking Shadow Lugia this time. Just the regular Shadow Lugia, not the Apex one. But Shadow Lugia is going to be in raids. And with this bad boy, you're looking for a non-weather boosted CP of 2115 or weather boosted 2645.
Shadow Lugia is a psychic and flying type Pokemon and is weak to the dark, electric, ghost, ice, and rock type attacks. And it is one of the most difficult raids to beat because of Lugia's natural bulk as well as the challenging shadow raid mechanism.
It's tanky, isn't it? It is a tanky mon. Yeah.
Yeah, and windy weather boosts to Lugia.
But fear not for its bulk. We're here to tell you how to take it down. A counter that I'm seeing and loving the look of is something that people should have after the Go Fest Global of this year, Dawn Wings Necrozma with Moongeist Beam on it. That thing is a top-tier counter versus the bulky Shadow Lugia.
Yeah, and if you don't want to use the Dawn Wings, you could actually go for the Dusk Main Necrozma. Not quite as good in terms of its DPS, but with Shadow Claw and Sunsteel Strike, not a bad mon, but it is quite noticeably, not as good.
Well, for some people, this is probably one that more people have access to. But Mega Tyranitar is a preferred pick with a fast move Bite and a charge move Brutal Swing.
Something that I think all of us should have, given it's now had 2 events recently, and looking at you, Darren Wykes, for your Shundo, get it to level 50, sir, because Mega Rayquaza can be used thanks to its pure just DPS power. Dragon Tail, Dragon Ascent on that thing will dice up Lugia very nicely.
Yeah, and I'm going to stick with my water type. So Mega Gyarados, sticking with the Megas, with Bite and Crunch is solid. And it's slightly below Mega Gengar, but I'm still sticking with the Gyarados.
Ian loves a water type. He's loyal to his waters. Bless him, is our man Ian.
It's the best typing, that's why.
It's the best typing. One Pokemon I'm sure a lot of people won't have is Goldengo. Knock yourself out with that one if you've got it. That's got a Hex and Shadow Ball as its moves, both ghost-type Pokemon.
Honestly, if you take a Goldengo into a Shadow Lugia raid, please tag us on socials. We'd love to see it.
Absolutely.
This is quite far down the list, but it is quite current, as it's the Mega Ray Boss currently during Adventure Week, and you are getting Mega Energy for it for free through research if you evolve some Poxy Rock-type Pokemon. Mega Aerodactyl.
Poxy?
Yes. Poxy, yeah.
Poxy gems. What are these Poxy?
You'd have to, because you'd have to probably have evolved a Rog and Roller.
No one likes to do that, do they, Milo?
It's wasting time.
No one should have to do that. Think about them.
I remember on the previous episode you said, please speed up the evolve animation. And I am with you.
Should we do a global challenge, Niantic, on Pokemon Go one time?
Evolve.
15 million Rock and Rollers evolved.
Oh my God.
Don't even put that out into the universe.
Don't give them ideas. Oh dear, but your Mega Aerodactyl should have Rock Throw and Rock Slide to stone the Lugia.
Yeah, with the exception of Mark, we've been talking Megas the whole time, so I'm going to go Ultra Beast, and it's quite far down the list, but Xurkitree is a fan favourite. I love Xurkitree, and with Thunder Shock and Discharge, it's not a bad choice.
But Ian, I think maybe we should do it for the 3rd time in a row. No, I'm not talking about Diancie again. But
I thought you were going Diancie.
Well, my favourite Mega is quite low down on the list, but Mega Houndoom comes in there. And it's got a double dark moveset of Snarl and Foul Play.
It's not on this list, but we've just given it a bit of a rinse, and it may feature in a global challenge in the not-too-distant future. If you evolve your Rock and Roller, you could evolve to get Gigalith and make sure you have a full Rock-type moveset on that. It's somewhat of a budget counter, but it is very, very low tier.
There's not really an awful lot of budgets to go with on this one, but I'm just going to throw in Gengar. It says Shadow. With Lick and Shadow Ball, it's not going to cost you an awful lot, maybe a raid.
Yeah, and if you are completely free to play, you could probably go for you could probably go for a Flappy Fish, maybe. No, I mean
Magikarp.
Magikarp. Mega Magikarp will do the trick for you. No, I think Tyranitar.
Dynamax Magikarp.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Tyranitar, standard Tyranitar. It punches right up there with the Mega, to be fair, with Bite and Brutal Swing. In fact, if you look at it, it does quite very similar. Performs similarly, I should say, to the Mega one. So
that's fantastic. We're going to wish you very best of luck for next weekend with the Shadow raids for Lugia, and hopefully we've given...
There's a lot of Megas and Shadows in there, really, isn't there? There's not really an awful
That's
lot
the thing.
Yeah.
When Lugia has like 5 or 6 weaknesses, it's like every Mega for itself. Go, go, go.
Yeah.
But there are plenty of other things up there, not just rock types. But Ian, since rock types are on the agenda, talk to us about your favourite event of the year.
Well, yeah, let's talk and let's get this off our chest, because we all love Adventure Week. It's one of the most hyped up and anticipated events of the year. And historically, there have been very, very strong and good events until we get to 2024.
Where it's poor.
Where it is, well, pause an understatement. It's not been a good Adventure Week. There's really been nothing new to chase, no new shinies, no new moms, and it's been a pretty... I don't want to steer your thought patterns here, but to me, it's been a pretty bad event, I'll be honest. It's not been a good Adventure Week. 2 minutes, I don't think it warrants more than top-line discussions, to be honest, because it's not been a good event.
It's been awful.
In a word,
really, when you look at it. I mean,
Milo, you're...
No, I think you know what. Let's go back to some of our earlier episodes where we were a little bit more fiery. We were more fired up on certain things. I do think sometimes we haven't felt the need to get like that. But you know, I know I'm not feeling well. I'm a little bit grumpy and that. But let's cut to the chase.
Use that energy.
Adventure Week is a staple part of the Pokemon GO calendar, and it is one event which, even if we felt that eggs were a con, and they are, it gave you a reason to play it on previous ones. New Shine is released, obviously exciting rock-type Pokemon in the wild, you know, all that good jazz and all that, right? This event featured some of the most unrelatable Pokemon to that very staple basic typing, which made it very much unadventure-y. It was horrific. And the weekend was only saved with the Mega Rayquaza raid day-ish, 3 hours period-ish, remote raiding period. Because if that wasn't on that weekend, I doubt many people would have been out adventuring, playing this event. It was awful. And we'll forgive an awful event if it's a new event. You know, Jesus Christ, I've got images of Wailmer in my head for some reason. But,
oh, God, don't go there.
Oh, yes, there was that event that had, if you're lucky, you may find a shiny Wailmer.
But do you know what? We'll all have opinions. We all might have got things out of it we wanted or not. But when you play the game map and you've got research tasks to catch rock Pokemon and you're struggling to find them, they're not spawning.
That task in itself isn't even worth doing.
No, it really isn't.
Really isn't. So, poorly executed event. It's a shame. And go on, Milo, find a positive in this.
There is one or two positive things. First of all, it can't get worse than this. because in 12 months' time, I really hope we can get the Gen 8 fossils in.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
It'd be about time, and 12 months is a long time.
Well, you say that, it'll be GoFest before we know it.
Time does fly, but not when you're in Adventure Week 2024. It's a slow crawl on this event, and it's just pathetic, frankly. Crabrawler, I wish that was featured. It would be about as relatable as all the other bloody spawns, to be honest.
True, mate.
The only good spawn, actually, is Drillbur.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a good shiny, good Pokemon to chase for all facets of the game. Shadow,
and if you're
regular
at New York,
counter.
You don't really need the Drillbur.
Speaking from experience, yes, but
not everybody went to New York. I get that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Drillbur's one of my preferred Pokemon, so I like seeing that, and it's quite common in the wild, and it just had a Spolaire as part of the event, which is great. However, that's where the good stuff ends, because yes, Mark is hitting the nail on the head. For an event that's been going almost as long as the game, I think eventually
the first one.
I think 2017 was when they first had an event, because they first brought in the Adventure Week bonuses were the main thing, and they featured the fossil Pokemon and other rock types, but there were no shinies released in 2017.
2018 when
2018,
the Omanyte, the Aerodactyl, and the
Kabuto were dropped. And ever since 2018, it's always had the next generation of fossils dropping as shiny, and the next generation after that dropping as Pokédex stuff. Yeah. So, for example, last year, and when I went out to play the first day of the event, I looked at what 2023 had to offer, I reminded myself, it just showed how horrific this year is. Because last year, we got Tyrant and Amora shiny released for the first time in the game. 2 amazing shinies. But last year, those 2 new release shinies could be found in the wild through 7-kilometer eggs that were boosted and had half hatch distance as a bonus, and through 4 different research tasks, all of which were fairly easy to complete. This year, they're paywalled. And I looked, I was like, how can you go that backwards in 12 months? Seriously. Tyrant and Amora have now been featured in lots of events, not just in GoFest, but outside of that, they've been in other events. They are the most common 10-kilometer egg hatch out of regular 10Ks.
Put them in the wild. Put them in the wild.
Put them in the wild. They should be in the wild. And Tyrant nests in this season. It's a nesting Northern Hemisphere Pokemon as well. So there's been a lot of opportunities. I don't see why they're locked behind eggs, and the tasks themselves are hatch an egg and explore 2 kilometers. So yeah, that kind of goes with the Adventure Week theme.
Because I think that's a very fair point. And like, I did see it that it's worth adding it to our little conversation, to be fair. But adventure effects would allow you to get these Pokemon, wouldn't they? Was Tyrant and Amora available with the adventure effects, weren't they? I think. Yes.
So I didn't know this or didn't think of it, and somebody pointed it out to me.
Just Rain of Dust, Dawn Wings will give you that. That was
the Sunsteel Strike is a way to get Tyrant, and Moongeist Beam is a way to get Amora because of the day and night evolves, which is a nice crafty thing, but those things are kind of their own pocket.
Yeah.
They're not really anything to do with the event because you'll get
you wouldn't waste your resources unless you really want those mons.
Well, genuinely, it's one of the best. It's like the only way you can find Tyrant in the wild during this event. I just think, why is the diversion from the previous track record of this event so drastic? When, yes, Adventure Week, the typical bonuses of spinning new Pokestops gets you 5 times XP and all that stuff. But it's always been paired with fossil Pokemon or rock-type Pokemon. And as Marky said, there's barely any of those featured in the wild. So, I mean, I'm looking at my cluster. There's 2 event Pokemon out of 7. There's so much bleed over from other stuff. So generally, it's just an awful event. Really bad come down.
Whilst I do agree with you, I want to bring a little bit of a balance to this discussion because we're all talking as people, as day one players, essentially.
In balance form.
In the chat on our live stream, Roper Sailor is saying, as a long-time player, it's not crazy for me, but my mum and wife both started playing last year, and they've had an absolute blast. Living through them makes me appreciate this more. And for newer players,
there you go.
They might not have these mons that are actually spawning in this event. So for us, we're jaded, we're worn down. We've had 8 years of this. For people,
and we've done live events.
Yeah, for people that are newer to the game, they're going to see it a whole lot differently than we are.
Fair point.
That is true. And thank you, Roper Sala, for putting that in our Patreon chat that's going on right now. But we also put out a post on X, boys. So let's have a little dive on that and see what people thought of. It's a great gif of Archon pecking away at Tortuga.
I love X, but I'm pretty sure what these comments are going to be saying.
So Kiwi Steve 007 has said, after 2 enjoyable events of boosted wild shinies, this is a major step back by locking them to egg/research. Walk 2 kilometers and hatch an egg are fitting tasks for Adventure Week and worth the chase. Just don't live up to how exciting prior years were. Fingers crossed for a research day next year. And actually, yeah, because it was 2022 had the Cranidos and Shield on research day. Yeah.
Dave Fraser said, extremely disappointing. What could have saved it was all tasks being quick and easy. I get they want us to adventure, but walking a few kilometers for 3 fossils isn't really very exciting. I would be more encouraged with quick research tasks and keep going for more.
Yeah, I'd agree on that one. Tudor the 7th has put, having only the Gen 1 fossils spawning in the wild is a massive downgrade from previous years. Putting a shiny boost on 3 gens of fossils, but locking them behind task eggs makes me feel less likely to try and grind the game.
Yeah. By the way, thank you everybody who's been getting involved in our social media posts and asking for feedback on events. We're going to continue doing that going forwards, and we love to hear your points of view. But we need to rate this out of 10, boys.
We do. We've not scored it.
We haven't scored it, and I'm expecting low odds here. So, Vasa, Out of 10, how low do you go?
3. This is a 3 event for me.
3.
Yeah, it's not done it for me. I've not hatched anything decent whilst playing the event out and about. It's personally, and I hate to be the negative one here, but we're all quite on the same vibe with this event. I've really found it hard to get motivated for this event because there's really nothing for me to chase.
Yeah, I've got to agree with you, Ian, actually. Yeah, I've stopped playing the game at the moment.
Coops.
I literally spun my first Pokestop at about 8 o'clock tonight to keep my streak going.
Did you go, wow, 2 times XP?
Woo! I mean, I can only score it from my perspective, and I think as a day one player-ish, I'm entitled to. This has been horrific for an event.
Casual 27.
Casual 27. Who's playing it hardcore? I want to know who you are.
That was McFloof that said that. Casual 27, love it.
Oh, well done, McFloof. I'm going to be that guy.
Come on.
We've never given an event a 1, have we?
No.
Are we breaking new ground here? Or...
It registers a score. If I really wanted to grind certain things, I think that if I wanted to go down the pay play, there's an option. I'm going to give it a 2 out of 10. It's a 2 out of 10.
Oh, okay, that's not going to be
2 out of 10. Love that.
That can be
I will agree with I think Ian on this one and go for a 3 out of 10. Obviously, as you guys have said, we can only base it on our viewpoint and our playing experience. And from somebody who's been playing the game and all the adventure weeks, this is a serious drop off. But the Drillbur is a saving grace. So 3 points for Drillbur.
Noise.
So as we said last week, Adventure Week, as in WEAK, is very much accurate, unfortunately. Let's just hope 2025 actually brings us something.
But boys, good
Is the news.
News?
Well, it is good news, isn't it? This is actually, I think, pretty big. I mean, I think you'll agree, Whitfield, Barrow, that we've been waiting for this Com Day Classic for a minute.
Yeah.
I've got to be honest, I was mightily surprised that this is what it is, to be honest.
I've been manifesting this the
Pleasantly
whole
surprised.
year, seriously.
We can drum roll it in because Beldum is the Community Day Classic on August the 18th, people. And of course, the obligatory time slot is 2 to 5 p.m. It is a Sunday Community Day, Vasa.
It's a Sunday Community Day, which aren't the best, certainly for us. I know a lot of people do like them because a lot of people have Sundays off work, but Sunday Community Day and Beldum, this one's been a long time coming. I'm actually really excited for this CDC.
Definitely, this is the best one. Like, anybody could have really asked for. Again, I am pretty surprised that it's here, but shall we go over the details?
Yeah, let's go over the details. So, the Community Day Classic, as Milo said, will run Sunday, August the 18th from 2 till 5 p.m. local time.
And as per the October 2018, yes, it's been that damn long, if you evolve Metang to Metagross, you will get Meteor Mash, which is its exclusive steel type move, and you need that move on Metagross to make it insanely good.
You do, and its power for both trainer battles and gym and raid battles is exactly the same.
We don't do that.
100. We don't really know what that means, but 100.
There's a full century of power. Now, we don't like this bonus, Vasa. It's the worst bonus, categorically.
It really is the worst bonus, and Com Day Classics generally don't have this bonus, so this is quite unique.
It is, but unfortunately, we've just had quarter distance on a previous Community Day. Let's not mention the electric Weedle. But because it's Beldum, I think they can get away with it. It's quarter egg distance.
It is, and as usual with Community Days, in general, lore modules activated during the event or Incensed excluding your daily adventure activated during the event will last for 3 hours. So you only really need to drop one to keep you going on the Incensed, and lore modules, again, 1 per stop.
Absolutely. And of course, 5 snapshots for 5 Beldum. Make sure you do them on this one. Any extra Beldum is a good one. And finally, some field research rewards are the classic Pokeballs, Great Balls, probably some Pineaps, Stardust, and of course, the Beldum Encounters.
Exactly. But again, Community Day Classic, it's a Community Day, so there will be a Community Day Classic Special Research, which will cost you $1 US or the equivalent, which will give you a whole host of goodies, including encounters with Beldum, Metang, and Metagross.
Beautiful stuff. And, well, yes, it's a Community Day Classic, so there aren't any of the epic post-Community Day raids, but Vasa, this should carry over theoretically, because this is sandwiched in the midst of the event we were just talking about earlier, the World Championships event, where there's 5 special trades per day.
It is, and I'm so gutted I'm not going to be in Hawaii for this one. This would just be amazing.
I know, but you could get 5 shiny Beldum trades done on this Community Day Classic, which is just insane.
But as we was just saying, Mark and I don't really tend to do special trades, but for this one, it's worth it because you've got that chance at the elusive Shundo. It's almost like Indiana Jones walking to get the rare artifact. You've got the chance at the elusiveness,
the elusive totem,
the Shundo. Yeah, exactly.
I think everyone's going to be going hardcore for this one. This has been the most requested Community Day Classic for years. Got Bag on earlier in the year. Now we've got Beldum.
Yep, 2 of the best this year, which leads me to think what could come next year, because in my opinion, we've
Slack
had
off.
many community days. Yeah, Mark would actually love the Slack off community
Slack
day.
off one. We still have some good ones from years gone by. My mind immediately turns to Ralts, which could be quite a good candidate for
still scarred over
2025.
Ralts Community Day.
Hopefully that scar could heal if it appears next year. But some extra tips for Beldum. So not only get your catches in, get everything caught, probably best to try and, if you can do some trades post-Community Day to get maximum resources, but also, it should be Mega Connoisseurs section, really. Sorry, Marky.
Thank you.
Make sure you get a Steel or Psychic type Mega down for this Community Day. There's tons to choose from.
3.
If you can get a level 3 one, the ones that have been around the longest are, I think, Mega Slowbro and Mega Steelix.
Oh, I was going to say Steelix, yeah.
Steelix, but there's tons. Sizzle, Latios, Latias,
Lucario,
Alakazam.
if you've been really on it for the last month or 2.
Yeah, there's plenty to choose from.
But one other piece of advice, which I'm sure you boys were already thinking about, get your Palkias out. Spatial Ren for this bad
Get
boy.
your Palkias out for the lads. Yeah, Spatial Rens, extend that distance for 3 hours because it's going to be worth it.
This is one event where it's worth spending the candy and the dust on Spatial Ren. It's definitely worth it.
And that is in literally less than a week's time. It is next weekend, peeps.
It is. Get ready, because then clear space in your storage. These sound like very basic things to say, but you are not going to want to waste time just clearing out your storage every few catches.
No, because of course we've mentioned this previously, hoping the Mega might have arrived, but Mega Metagross will eventually make its way to Pokemon Go. So I don't know the research hunt off the top of my head, but it'll be worth doing the field research task. Good luck for the special research. And honestly, I am so hyped for that one.
So much so.
But for the 3rd time tonight, we've righted the tree, and it's now time to
chop it down
axe
again.
It.
We're working our way through that forest, aren't we?
Eco warriors,
charm.
don't come at us.
We fell it 3 times in one show, which is pretty good going. But yes, the boys shared their choices for a nightmare full-time profession / job / career on tonight's show. Which of these do you agree with the most? We had 33 people on the 27-minute poll. Good number. The results are in. So, in 3rd place with 6% of the vote, Trawler Man.
Oh.
A lot of people like fish, Milo.
Fish or friends?
Fish or
Fish or
fishing?
friends?
Fish or friends,
not food.
Milo. Can you kiss a fish, Milo?
That would kill him.
I
kill him.
don't
kill him.
think so. I've never tried it, funnily enough. Not even at the Seattle
No
market.
one was at
did it
the
cross
farmers
my
market
mind.
in Seattle. At the,
No.
Yeah,
Was he a
they were
nightmare,
throwing
Ian?
the salmons around, and Milo was worried about it hitting him in the face.
There isn't a kissing booth with a trout.
Was Milo ducking in every time a fish
He
flew around?
stood
did
well back.
Here, kiss a cod.
It wasn't a cod, it was a salmon, I think.
I don't know what it was.
It was pink.
Oh, Milo.
They're all things that swim in the sea.
They're all things. Well, in 2nd place with 30%, content creator, which means the septic tank cleaner wins with 64%. B. Jerry did come up with quite a good alternative where he said, I think crime scene cleanup people do with pretty nasty stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
And
so.
you've
but
watched CSI, Mark. Yeah, you should know that.
Yeah, they gloritise it a bit on CSI,
Yeah.
don't they? Oh, we can't mention that, Mike. Maybe on a future episode. So I mate Mike Griffin, but
Have you seen the gift of Barside Plan?
yes,
We can't actually say that out loud.
no. It's full.
It's full, yeah.
It's full. And I think Milo lost by default, to be fair, because Lucy Davis put, don't know what a trawler man is. But
yeah, that may be a factor. Yeah.
So you hang on that, Milo. You're not going to win it.
I'm going to take any crumb of comfort.
Realistically speaking, there was anything going to beat septic tank cleaner.
No.
Yeah.
Well done, Ian, for winning that poll. The third one tonight.
Congrats, pole man.
You're welcome.
We've had a lot of community input into the show, which is actually fantastic, and we love it. And, well, I alluded to this in the intro. It's almost as if it was planned, would you believe? But we're going to be joined by a couple of, what do we call them? Listeners, fans, contestants.
Contestants assemble.
Reveal yourselves.
Chasing the tail. Chasing the tail.
Hang on. That's not the right version, Pastor.
I know, but occasionally I like to wheel it out.
That's not the right version.
Or whatever it was.
Chasing the tail. Chasing the tail. Tail to chase. It's chasing the tail.
There's the collaborative effort.
I was going to say, that's better.
That one sounds
not
a little better, doesn't it?
It's not total rubbish.
It's not in tune.
It's fantastic. There we go. So, chasing the tail this week, and as was alluded to in the intro, we're going to have some extra voices on the show. We've got some listeners of the podcast, and we've got two of them. So, introduce yourselves. Welcome.
Yeah. So, hi, I'm Kitty, editor-in-chief at Pokémon GO Hub.
Fabulous.
Welcome, Kitty.
Welcome.
Hi, and I'm Paul Pavnoko. I'm a level 50 trainer, been playing since a month into the game, and I think I know most of you. So yeah, really pleased to be on the podcast as a guest.
Fantastic. That's contestant 1 and 2.
Or Kitty and Pavnoko, as we call them.
Yes, exactly.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much for joining us for this one. We haven't done too many kind of guest listener games, as it were, but we're thrilled to bring them back. And let's see if one of you is going to be victorious in what is probably the fan favourite game. So, if you are a new listener to the show and don't know what on earth Chasing the Tail is, it is the following. It is a word association game using the names of Pokemon. I will start the round, as it were, and I'll say the name of a Pokemon, and the person following me must have a Pokemon name that begins with the same letter that mine ends in. So if we said Jinx, it would have to be something ending in X, which could be troublesome. Let's quickly throw an order out there. So the contestants in first. So I'll start.
Do it.
Then it'll be Kitty, Paul, Ian, Mark, and back to me. So let's see how long round one will continue and then how quickly we're all going to drop like flies.
The caveats.
Oh, yes.
Ian?
Thank you for picking me up on that one, Vasa. I would have completely forgotten the kind of rules that we actually have for this game, which are...
Come on, we do this every week.
It's been a little while since we've done Chasing the Tail, actually. But
Beep, 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 beep.
few things with this game is you cannot repeat the name of a Pokemon. Once it has been used in the game, no matter the round, it cannot be used again. So that's why things tend to spiral out of control towards the end. And finally, you can't take too long when it comes to your go. We often go with, 3, 4, 5 seconds. We may be more lenient. Depends on how things are and how trigger happy Vasa is feeling, i.e. very when it comes to Mark and me. But
he's quick on the buzzer.
He really is. If we're all ready to crack on, then we will begin round one. I'm looking at Kitty's shelves of plushies.
Yeah, I need to put them out for
as
their
inspiration. Yeah, exactly. Well, there we go. Let's start off with Zorua.
I can't even think what the letter that ends in. Is it an A? Arceus.
Skitty.
Yamna.
Apom.
Murkrow.
Weeping Bell.
Lucario.
Ooh.
Oricorio.
Too many O's.
I can't even think of one. I can't do it. I'm out. Can't even think of one.
Oh,
Orangaroo.
no.
Oh, there we go. What a surprise.
No. Well, there we go. Master
Dear.
27, bless him. I feel the pain of the cold man. But you get to start round 2. Please be nice.
And one thing I love about having guests on, as we do this, is we hear different names of Pokemon. We're used to the same.
Yeah, we
ones
get
that we
stuck
always
in our
got up there with all
patterns.
these
Yeah.
like Xerneas. I was like, whoa.
We very much get stuck in the patterns.
We do. So I'm going to bring it back to tradition, and I'm going to start with Sawaddle.
Elekid.
Dwebble.
Esper.
Riolu.
Unknown.
Nincada.
Arcanine.
Ooh.
Espeon.
He's safe. Noivern.
Nidoqueen.
Nidoking.
I'm not falling for it this week. Gollet.
Tynamo.
Ogapon.
Nice gen.
Who?
Nice
What
gen
generation
name
is that? How do you spell that? Not playing for time either. Is that an M? She's done it on purpose. We've done all the M's, haven't we?
Sorry. No, it's one of my favourites. I've got loads of them.
Nincada? Is that a repeat? No.
I think we've heard that one from Kitty already.
That one. Yeah.
To be fair,
Okay.
Ogapon, I would never have thought of that one. It's like
No, neither would I.
Gen 9 DLC, fantastic.
Yeah, sorry. It's one of my favourites from the newest
you know what,
one.
Katie, that
I
is
just
great.
got 4 plushes of
Everyone
it.
says, that's not in Pokemon Go. It doesn't have to be.
No. A very nice quick bit of Googling there, Milo, to know what it was as well. I like that. That was good.
It's the only game I've played, so I know the DLC, but...
That's a DLC Gen 9 there, Kitty.
Gen
Like
9,
that.
that's proof of it, but...
That absolutely threw me.
think-
That threw me, that did. That absolutely
if
threw
you
me.
don't know the main series games or whatever, then that's entirely fair enough. Paul, you fell valiantly, I think.
Like most of us,
Thank
Milo,
you.
by the way. Like most of us.
yeah, exactly.
That was almost a wishy-washy situation, Whitfield.
It was.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Oh, goodness. Right, well, Paul, you may be out, but you get to start round 3. It's the semi-final now, so you are passing it over to Vasa. Pick your Pokemon poison of choice.
Okay, Moltres.
Ooh, Sylveon.
Noibat.
Turtwig.
Ooh. Gallade.
Electabuzz.
Zoroark.
Ooh.
Kecleon? Is it? Start with a K, yeah?
Not another N. Nimble.
Electivire.
Ooh. Another Exploud.
Donphan.
Oh, another N. Nidorino.
Oh.
Good
Oh!
Okay. Ammonite Whitfield. Got you.
Oh, not another E. Electrike.
Oh!
Another E.
It's E's and N's.
LGM.
Oh!
Ooh. Mimikyu.
Oh, Umbreon.
Nidorina.
Ambipom.
Mudkip.
Psyduck.
Hey. I think he's out. Oh my goodness me.
Oh,
He was
what a
going
rally.
Kecleon. Kecleon, get out my head. Get out my head.
I know, that's what I can think of, and I've already used that one.
Psyduck was a great answer.
That was
wasn't
an
it? That's
amazing
really good.
third round right
Good
there.
answer.
Well, it is like me and Dwayne are the real life Psyducks. I couldn't not say it,
That was a
really.
perfect
Seriously,
lead-in.
for the listeners at home, we're looking at you on video, and you must have, 20 Psyducks behind you?
Yeah, and you can't see the really big ones that are higher up as well.
So-
Like, there's
27
there's a lot more
Ian,
than
I think. I can
visible,
see
like-
27
sorry.
Psyduck.
Good number. So, it is the final. It's a Mexican standoff between Whitfield and Kitty Pokemon's a lot. So, we are going to go into the final round. And am I going to be nice or not?
I have a feeling not. Listeners, cast your votes now.
Yeah.
You know what? I am,
Ooh.
I think. Whitfield, Rayquaza.
Axew.
Whirlipede.
What the hell does that end in? We've used all the E's. Excadrill.
Lipard.
Deoxys. Is that in or out?
I was just on the buzzer.
Sprigatito.
Ooh. Omastar.
Remoraid.
There's another D. Oh no. I haven't got one. No. That is me out. Kitty is very much victorious with that one.
That was well played, Kitty. GG's.
Thank you.
Huge congratulations. That not only means that you win, but we'll be seeing you next week for another game, which is amazing.
Yeah.
I don't think, boys, we've ever had that many Pokemon names thrown into a game of Chasing the Tail.
Guys, I was really curious because I always do this. It'll make you all think I'm sad, but I always make a little tally of who's done what, just as a tick along to see how many we named.
Have you got every Pokemon in the
deck?
No,
I don't write them down, but just how many we named. But in that game, we named 59 different Pokemon.
Wow.
Which is pretty...
Nice.
That's a record.
Pretty epic,
That's more than half of the Johto decks.
It's not like when we had Zoe on the other week.
Yeah, when we all failed miserably. But Paul, Pavnoko, thank you so much for jumping on. Unfortunately, didn't win the elusive cookie this time, but perhaps
absolutely gutted.
Perhaps again in the future.
Yeah, thank you. 3 quick things then. Firstly, fantastic congratulations to Kitty for her superior knowledge. That was incredible. There's lots I didn't even recognise then. Secondly, I'm just glad that I beat Mark. That's all. I feel as if I've achieved something.
Paul, how many times have QPR beaten me, mate? All the time, mate.
we won't torture you with that one, Mark. But and also, guys, keep up the good work. It's great fun watching you guys do what you do, and thanks for letting me be a guest today.
No problem. Thank you so much for your support.
Thank you, Paul.
Good luck, Kitty.
Yeah, I don't dread to think what game you'll throw at me next week.
Oh, we'll come up with something.
Yeah.
So, yes, we'll be seeing Kitty next week again. And I wonder,
how long can this streak last, do you think? Do you think she
can we stage a loss? But something that is always at a bit of a loss, some say that these interns believe that your avatar dress code is just plain wrong, and that they dream that one day they might be a septic tank cleaner. All we know is it's time to
ask the intern.
Now we have a bit of good and a bit of bad. Boys, which one should we take first?
Good. Let's go good first.
Let's go for the good vibes first.
Yeah.
So, was it last week? I think it was last week we made mention of the catch card stuff.
Yes.
For Global Go Fest. The whole issue with remote raids over the course of day one of Global Go Fest. Nobody could get a catch card.
The issue that nobody knew even existed.
Well, clearly some people did. Otherwise, this wouldn't happen. So we all joked about, they give us a box with 3 catch cards in it. But no, that is not going to be the case. Late last week, Niantic Support posted impacted trainers will receive timed research that awards encounters with Ultra Beasts and Necrozma with guaranteed special backgrounds at a future date. Each trainer will receive research based on the number of remote raids they did during the first day of Pokemon Go Fest 2024 Global. The research granted will award a number of encounters equal to the special backgrounds they could have received during the event.
I thought we said this was good
and will
news.
last until December 31st. Okay, I didn't read that second one, or that third one. So the research here will be in the game until December the 31st of 2025. It's good for post 1 and 2. So it's like, cool, we're going to get some timed research.
But how do we know if you're impacted? Is it just anybody's remote
exactly.
raided? Or?
Well, it's remote raids, but this is what I'm confused by. How are they going to calculate and know you should have got a background? Exactly. When they can't even remember to turn the switch on to get the things to appear in the first place.
Yeah. I mean, they'll know how many raids you did.
And they go, so Ian Waterfall, I'm afraid you wouldn't have got any catch cards.
So you don't get the special research.
I want to wait for this research to drop at a future date, and everybody posts on X that I didn't get a research, and nobody. So I'm afraid
get a background anyway.
I'm afraid no Pokemon trainer got a research catch card background thing. Oh dear. I hope that's not the case.
The more you read through that article, the less
hopeful,
impressed with it I was, because I was thinking, well, I know I did remote raids, but I don't know how many.
I don't either. But then it's like, how many remotes did you do versus what catch card stuff you could have got? Because are they going to actually be like, yeah, you had good catch card RNG, or I'm afraid you got one?
Yeah, I don't know if I like this. I think
I'm not sure I like
this.
Been
a blanket special research.
And are they going to know which raid bosses you did?
Exactly.
Like however many millions of trainers there are.
But let's face it, we're all going to want the Xurkitree as a shiny with a catch card.
Yeah.
It's like Cluedo.
We're probably not going to get that. We're probably all going to get Blacephalon that can't be shiny.
Yeah.
And catch card.
Or Pheromosa.
I mean, these are the people who want to be septic tank cleaners.
Exactly. That would be a positive move for them.
Positive movement.
He went there, didn't he, Ian? He went there.
He went there.
I went into the gutter. Well, I mean, the good has turned to bad. Marky, give us the worst.
Could it get any worse?
Yes. This is quite funny because I didn't know anything about this issue until it impacted me directly today. So I went to good old X because I wanted to play Drill Burst Spotlight for a little bit tonight because that was the only motivation to do anything on the game. Opened the game up, it logged me in, fine. But then I had no image of my avatar on the bottom left of the screen. I had nothing on the game map. And then when I ran an Incensed, I just had a spawn appear on my map. And then another one would then replace it just on the Incensed. So it wasn't moving though. So when I was moving, it stayed in the middle of the screen. So it wasn't moving away from me. So there was no actual, the game wasn't doing anything.
Right. Oh.
I don't know what this is all about. So I play the game through Play Store normally. I went to Twitter and X, I should say, and people were very helpful, which is going probably against the grain with X.
Is good. What did they just say? Android.
Yeah,
it's a helpful community.
I don't think it was just Android for what people have been saying. It's down to the version of the game, but at the end of the day, people cared and people responded. It turns out that there was, with the latest update, there's a conflict with some avatar items. Yes, you've got it right, avatar items. Yeah. So I had standard pair of boots I thought was standard on it. However, this was the joke with it, right? Because you couldn't access your avatar because the game didn't let you see your avatar, you couldn't change items on your avatar.
So you're in a catch 22.
Catch 22.
Nice.
So fortunately, I also have it on my Galaxy Store. So I have both versions, like a lot of people do who use Android. I have two Pokemon Go apps on my phone, one for Play Store, one for Galaxy Store, because they update at different times. You get the benefits of both updates.
If one goes wrong, a la this circumstance.
So fortunately, I was able to go into my Galaxy Store and change my footwear, even though it let me log in and play it before the update. And then when I went into my other one, lo and behold, it worked. But I am 150 Poké coins lighter because I actually bought myself some Tandem Mouse boots because I had the coins to do it.
Adorable.
But yeah, so looking at the comments, a lot of people had the same issues. Avatar items, fantastic, brilliant.
Who thought that avatar items would break the game?
Yeah.
Or let's put our certain type of material hat on. Is this
tinfoil?
I wasn't going to mention it, but okay. Is this a very intelligent, subtle ploy with the new updates? So Niantic make you spend Pokecoins just to make the game work, make you buy an avatar item to make your game work again.
Could you have not used another pair of boots or shoes that you already own?
I could have done it, but I was drawn to them.
They were top of the list.
They're top of the list, so I just bought them.
I love it if it's like any item you currently have bought on your avatar, you can't switch to it to make it work, so you have to buy a new piece. That would be shady. That would be so shady. Oh my goodness me. Let's hope. I mean, I did see on X actually people reporting that and tagging Niantic support with that.
Thankfully,
error.
That doesn't seem to. I've not noticed any issues with my version on iOS. So
I haven't updated.
Mine's on auto update.
Is it? I never update until the last minute in case of things going wrong.
It's a forced update, do you?
Yeah, until it's a forced update. And then they put it out during Spotlight or Radar. But hopefully that error is fixed. And with that, that's the end of 183, boys. It's time to put this episode to bed, as it were. So if you enjoyed the podcast and aren't following it, please do so. That way you'll never miss an episode drop. And we drop them every week. We never miss a week.
Every week.
Absolutely. Every Sunday, we pop a new episode, and you can pop an incense alongside us by hitting that follow or plus or subscribe button on whatever podcast platform you are choosing to listen to us on. And also, if you did enjoy, we'd love a gold 5-star review as well. We did say this at the top of the show, but you can follow us across our socials at Incensed Podcast to get involved with the community polls that we do, the community feedback, and seeing some behind the scenes of the edits and bits and pieces that we like to put on there too, and as well as a variety of contact methods, the email, the campfire, the WhatsApp number. Do you want to read it out again, Ian?
Can do. Why not? Yes.
Let's do it.
So our WhatsApp number is as follows: +44 759 269 5696. And before you get into the rest of your spiel, can I just say thank you to everybody that's been on the stream today, because we've had our quarterly Patreon stream, which includes not only our gold members, but also our silver members as well. So it's been great seeing all of you in the stream this week. You can't do silver.
Can't
silver
do it.
Member.
We really can't do it. Well, it's very appropriate that you gave them the thanks. And yes, thank you. It's been so awesome to have a ton of you on tonight enjoying the raw live chaos that we've provided. But finally, a massive thank you to each and every one of our Patreon members, whom without their help and support, we wouldn't be able to make this podcast sound and perform as good as it does. So thank you to everybody on the bronze, the silver, and the gold tier members. And yep, tonight we've had the gold and the silver tier members with us. We hope it's been enjoyable. And we do this every week. A special thank you to the gold tier members, who are new member Roper Siler. Welcome to the gold tier. We have Mr. Mossam. We have Mandy Croft, Highbone, Barside 2, Mufti, Apex 171, Connor Lee, Kerry and Zachary, Darby Russ, Clifford Mert, and finally JB. Thank you all so very much for your contributions and support. And Patreon tiers do start from £1.50 for bronze, £5 for the silver, and $25 for the gold members, who get to enjoy the live recording chaos every week that we do this podcast. We have to say a big thank you to our admin team, the two people who also help us with so much behind the scenes of this podcast. Thank you to Hermes Ninja and I Am Prius, the Italian. Thank you to you both. Really, you do so much behind the scenes.
But guys, we've got some good news.
What?
Tuesday on Spotlight Hour, we've got The Leap with 2 times catch XP. Yeah.
Oh.
Sounds it's not familiar. That's not familiar news.
Have we talked about that already?
Well, on that triple deja vu disappointment of a bombshell, we hope we've earned your ears for another week. But until then, Incensed Podcast out.